Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? Coming from the Whiny Medic studio. Hi, Jen. Why do you look so thrilled this evening?
It's great.
I swear.
I'm envisioning us getting up at 4:45 in the morning.
What do we? I've been getting up at 5:30 in the morning since Friday. I'm just saying.
Okay, whatever.
I've been
Sure.
up and going hunting and getting into deer stand.
It's gonna be a different kind of drive, motivation.
It's gonna be a totally different. You said at what time?
5. We gotta be there at 5.
Oh. Yeah. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But hey, what are we talking about today?
It's funny that you ask.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to discuss the top movies to watch if you want to be in the first responder field. And then a short little part of what not to watch.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Schetz, and I'm the lead medic.
Hi, I'm James Schutz, and well, I'm the lead medic. And together, we're the Whiny Medics.
Okay, all right, so we're back. Man, that's cool. That's awesome intro music. That's
I'm glad I found it for you.
Yeah, it works out great.
I did find it for you.
No,
I did find it for you.
I think I'm the Patreon for Shannon.
But I picked the song.
Yeah, you did pick the song. I'll give you that. You did pick the song. So, well, as you all know, with the Whiny Medics, it's wind down time! Yeah! Outstanding wind down time. I'm so happy.
Really quick. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You need like an ooh and ah.
Ooh. Oh, I can get an ooh and ah. There's probably an ooh and ah already built into this stinking crazy board. Anyway, so what are we drinking tonight, Jen?
Well, we were given a bottle of wine from Jim Woods, one of my old coworkers.
That would be former co-workers. He's not really old. You can't say he's old. Or
He's
is he
older
old?
than me.
Oh, I guess he is old. But sorry, Jim. She said it, not me.
So he's ranted and raved about this this place, and on my last day at work, he brought me a bottle.
Oh, nice.
Or when I was leaving, he didn't bring me alcohol on the job.
No. Who brings alcohol on a job? That's not right at all. I mean, why would you do that?
So this is Door 44, and the wine is the White Door. So Door County, Wisconsin is where this comes from.
Ooh.
And I can't remember the story. I wish I could, but he told me that him and his wife just one day decided to go. And they went to Wisconsin.
Did they get cheese with their wine?
I bet they did.
I hit the button.
Mm-hmm. So my phone died. So what I read about this, so what he said when they were driving along, it was like you were going down this area and all you saw was green trees, and as you flew past them you saw red from all the cherries because there was a cherry orchard there. So what I read was it's on
in Wisconsin. It had to be in the spring or the summer.
I don't know,
because it's usually white when the winter.
So it's on a peninsula between Green Bay and Lake Michigan.
Sweet. I like Green Bay.
And there's apple orchards and cherry orchards, but cherry must have been the big one in that area. But this is a white wine. It's a dry wine with a crisp, light-bodied flavor. Bursts with citrus and tropical fruits.
So have you tried this one yet?
No. This is new.
So this will be our first time like raw trying something like totally raw. We ain't playing here. We ain't ever had this wine. We're gonna drink it up and see what happens.
And then see if we want to go to Wisconsin. Don't you know?
We could take a trip to Wisconsin. I am all about that. Can I go to a Packers game while we're there? Cheers to you, dear. Good weekend.
Back up, man.
I gotta
they
back
want to
up.
hear you swallow.
She said
This is a professional podcast, sir.
There is nothing professional about us. Wow.
So yeah, it is a little dry.
It isn't a little, it's a lot.
But it's not super sweet.
Mm-mm.
It's light. I'm getting good at this.
It is.
I'm getting good at this. Okay. So it's light.
Mm-hmm.
And I can taste the tropical, the citrus flavors.
It's different. I don't know if I would drink it a lot, but I mean, it's not bad to drink every now and then.
Yeah.
It's got a different flavor.
What would you pair that with?
Oh,
Some cheese?
Yeah. Hold on. There we go. I like that button. It's the D button.
I put cheese in there. I put cheese in my Bloody Marys. So, yeah.
You know, I would almost, you could probably eat it with some chicken.
Some fruit.
Yeah, some fruit or
chicken.
something. Chicken.
some
Maybe some Italian chicken type food.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. Maybe without, not
this
red
was
sauce,
one of his bottles that he was keeping, and he gave it to us. So we'll have to thank him for that. So,
For
Jim,
sure.
thanks you.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate this one. Yeah.
We'll get you a bottle of beer.
Oh, good Lord. Man. Beer. We found some really cool places to go here recently for beer.
We have.
So we've got some things working with us.
Where did we go last time?
We went to Bear King.
Bear King, yeah, but we can't talk about that because that's for another podcast.
Well, that is for another podcast, but that's super awesome.
And then on the way back in Alabama, we hit a couple of places.
We did. We hit quite a few brewery places.
We got some beer that's for that
Old Smoky Brewery Company in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I've got several of their beers that I've got saved up for podcasts. If I don't drink them before, because they're yummy.
There was somewhere else. What was that? We stopped one place. We got a 6-pack.
Yeah, that's the.
Was it?
That was the Old Smoky. That was the Smoky Mountain Brewery Company, because we ate lunch there.
Yeah.
We ate lunch there.
Yeah. The lunch was not great.
No, the lunch, it wasn't so much the lunch.
It was the service. But everybody has to understand that the COVID thing is this rampant again. And, someone was telling me the other day that Vegas, Mirage is closed during the week, and they're only allowing up to like 8 people in a restaurant at a time in some places.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here we are again, closing down thing. But anyways.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about, I teach classes online. I talk to lots of students. I don't teach near as much as I do managing everybody else, but and trying to make sure all the classes work and everything else. But I still get the opportunity to talk and teach when I do. I end up somehow involving some of the TV shows or movies that we've had. And I come up with a list. It's an improv. What are you messing with? Well, what are we doing here? What's all my chin? Good Lord.
I got you. You really enjoyed that steak.
Oh, that steak was good. I reverse seared for the first time on my new Pit Boss grill. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. I did a combination of the Pit Boss smoker with your Pioneer Woman cast iron pan. It was amazing. I've never done that before on a grill, and it was amazing. Lots of firsts this weekend. I made my first tenderloin from a deer that I shot. It was super good. It was super yummy. But anyways, so yeah, I come up with a list of some movies, and that was one of our things. I was like, let's do something a little fun, a little different. Let's talk about the movies that if you're an EMS, you should have already seen these movies, or you should be watching them, or you need to put them on your list in your Amazon or your Netflix whenever they come available, to go ahead and get them and get in and watch them, because there's a lot of things we can learn from TV. There's a lot of things we can learn not to do from TV. I think there's probably more that we can do not to do.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of gone to extreme for some things. Mm-hmm. The cool thing is the guys, and if you're a fan of the Fire Department Chronicles, Jason over there with them guys actually has done some green screen videos with the
that was hilarious.
The Lonestar 911 and the 911 movie shows, and oh man, they're hilarious.
They are.
I think that dude comes up with some. I don't know if he's got writers or whether he just comes up off the top of his dome and is like, let's try this. But he's funny. Mm-hmm. That dude I could hang out with him. I think it would be fun.
Between him, Firefighter Fenton
Yep.
and Officer Smith. They're my favorites.
Those guys, and we all get our favorites that we learn and we watch on YouTube that are really, they exhibit. The good things they're good people that are kind of showing the fire and EMS in a very laughing light, although they probably had to deal with the serious calls and everything else.
Well, that's how we deal with things.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting. But so let's talk about. We're going to start out with the top some movies that you should see.
Movies or TV series?
Movies or TV series. The ones that you should focus on first. That should be at the top of your Amazon list if you were thinking about getting an EMS. What would you say your number one is? Yeah.
If I want to be like them and follow that, I thought it was a great.
Well,
I just liked it.
You just like it.
Well, one of my top number one movies is Mother, Jugs, and Speed.
Oh, Mother, Jugs, and Speed. Let's talk about that one for a minute because that list is like.
And don't hate on me because I like something that Bill Cosby was in. Not even talking about that.
Bill Cosby. This was before they decided he was the man in chasing all them girls. But yeah, roofies. No, but no, that wasn't right. Was
that
it?
Wasn't right.
No, sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
But wait a minute, you can cuss, but I can't say roofies. What the heck is this bull crud? But anyways, it really, that show, if you go back and look at it now, it really exhibits the way EMS was back in the early 80s, late 70s,
Well, I can't even say that. I just really thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Well, I mean, it had funny.
There was okay, so they had the hearses versus the.
Well, they had
some vans.
They had ambulances, and they had hearses.
And they had the hearses, and they would send someone out by themselves.
Yeah,
to go get a patient.
And you get to the door, and if they ain't got no money, have a good day. You ain't riding with us. They didn't have days of insurance, and we have to pick you up, and you call, we haul type situation. They didn't have any of that,
and they would vie for those patients.
If competing companies, private ambulance services were fighting.
I think most of them were all private services.
Yeah, they were fighting for each other.
Very comical movie. Don't believe everything you see on
Raquel, it's Raquel Welch that's in there, and
of course, that's the one you would remember.
Oh yeah, super smoking hot during that one time. Sorry,
obviously she was Jugs.
She was Jugs. And then you had Bill Cosby. Who else was in that?
He was Mother.
Yeah, he was Mother. Who was?
I can't think of his name.
I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. It would, but he. And I even see him as an older guy, but I can't think of his name. But he ultimately, he was the new guy coming in as an EMT, as a rookie, and Bill Cosby being an experienced guy.
JR was in that movie.
JR Ewing was in that movie.
Whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, and it was an interesting way to see how EMS was ran. And I think one of the parts that are on there that we didn't realize, really made an impact on the way we deal with things now, was the fact that they had a patient come out the door with a shotgun and was shooting at them. And I think if I remember right, was it one of them who actually had a gun and shot back from the ambulance? It was kind of crazy.
So, great movie. Must see, especially if you want some comic relief.
Must. There's some funny part. That's the one where the stretcher's actually going down the road outside of the ambulance. They lost it out the back of the ambulance.
The F&B ambulance service.
Yeah, the F&B ambulance service. I mean, what the heck?
But they really they just load and go. They don't. There was no medicine practice.
We were not practicing. No, man. We put you in the back of the truck and you were good to go. That's all you're getting.
I could watch that movie 100 times.
I probably have seen it 100 times. It's a good movie. Yeah. And so it lists for me, it'd probably be my number 2. I think
number one for you.
Number 1 for me is.
Let me guess.
Well, go ahead.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Well, yes. The Nicolas, for one, I really like Nicolas Cage.
Do you know that he actually went and rode out with an ambulance service? I can't remember who it was, or if it was someone famous or whatever, some big service or whatever. But he rode out with them to get the experience before making that movie.
That's amazing because that you can kind of see because the way he plays that part and I think he doesn't show the glory of EMS.
No, honestly, and I wouldn't have thought about it then as much as I do now, but that was about PTSD and, depression and
being burnt out.
Burnout. Big time.
It was the dark side of EMS. And a lot of people don't list it as one of the top things to, the top EMS, one
of my favorite songs is on that movie.
Which one is that?
What's your frequency, Kenneth? I can't remember if that's the name of it. It's what I remember.
Huh.
It's an REM song.
Oh, okay. I have to go back and watch it again. It's been a while. But, it really showed the dark side of EMS that we deal with on a regular basis. And, it makes a difference when people...
we probably just heard me burp on that. I'm so sorry. That was
it makes a difference whenever people watch it. If they watch that, when they watch that, they really had an idea of what EMS really, we go through later on.
Even down to like private service vehicle breakdowns. Oh my God. I never knew until I worked at the second service I worked at how big that was. And it's everywhere. My best friend says it's all the time over at her.
Oh yeah.
They keep spare generators because of it. They have someone on each shift that knows how to splice those generators and make them work.
Well, we got to keep them running. We got to keep them operating. So yeah.
And I don't think people realize, like lay people realize how many miles we put on those ambulances. And no one probably ever had as much as I had on one ambulance.
I don't think anybody would. Most people sell their ambulances.
Oh my God, guys. We had an ambulance that had 600,000 miles on that truck. Now, I think at some point the engine was changed out, but it was just the fact that you got into that truck and had to write down 600,000 miles on it.
I think if anybody can top 600,000 miles, I personally will make a Whiny Medics t-shirt. I want to see.
I want proof.
We got to have some kind of proof. I don't know if you can take a picture of an odometer and send it into our email or
none of my cohorts can find the last ending mileage on that truck and do it.
You send it in our Facebook page. It's got to be higher than 600,000 miles on an ambulance.
Ours was over that.
And I am making you a t-shirt that says, I have the oldest ambulance in the world and I'm a Whiny Medic. But, that's crazy how many miles that we put on the ambulances.
Have you ever had to stop in the middle of a code 3 response, pull over, turn your truck off and sit for 2 or 3 minutes before starting your truck back over to hope that it reset?
No.
Really?
No.
I thought that was standard.
No, that is not
standard.
God. That's a horrible.
They lied to me.
That's horrible. There's got to be some kind of violation associated with that somewhere. The code 3 response, hey, pull over. We got to wait 2 minutes. We're on a 2-minute timeout, sir. It's like
what's my ETA? It was 5, but now it's 8.
Right. It's going to take a little bit longer. We've got to let the truck reset.
The truck says no right now.
Right.
Sorry about your luck.
That's wrong. But bringing out the dead it really showed the dark side of
beat up a truck with a sledgehammer or something in that movie?
No, he didn't. But it was funny because
the other guy did.
John Goodman was in there. Wasn't it John Goodman? Yeah, John Goodman is in there, and he's the one who's angry about the guy being
I don't remember John.
Maybe it's
There's another guy that's pretty big in the movies. But I don't think it was him.
No, I think it was him. He's the guy who he used to be on Full House, not Full House, but Roseanne. He was the husband of Roseanne.
Oh, that's John Goodman. But I don't remember him being in that movie.
It was him. He's mopping out the back, and all of a sudden, the guy who's the frequent flyer shows up there again, and he throws the mop, and he's yelling at him, and this and that. I mean, he's completely burnt out. If you haven't watched that movie, you've got to see Bringing Out the Dead.
That is a good one.
And Nicolas Cage did a really good job presenting EMS in a way that was super cool, And if he did actually, and I give him props. If he took the time to be in EMS and go right out on an ambulance, that's super cool,
I'm looking it up.
Oh, good Lord. She's on my phone. That's not good. She took my notes, though. You took my caller notes. So we've got...
What? You don't know what you're going to say?
Bringing Out the Dead.
Patricia Arquette was in that movie.
Was she? Huh.
Yes, John Goodman
See,
was
Tony,
Larry
it
in
was
that
John
movie, but the
Goodman,
guy I was thinking of was Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore, yeah. Mhm. So they were in there, and then we had, let's see.
So, are you done with that one?
I'm done with, Bringing Out the Dead is number one. Mother, Jugs, and Speed, number two. You brought up
I did. I brought up one that you didn't really consider.
EMS.
First responders.
Yeah.
But I did. Okay. And if you actually look up top movies or series for EMS responders, they actually list this one. There's a lot of people who consider this one. But it's MASH.
MASH.
The 4077.
Like Korean War MASH. Like Mobile Army Surgical Camp.
You wrote that down,
I wrote
didn't
it
you?
down for sure.
Were you even old enough to watch that?
I watched the reruns. And I still, they were some.
Do you know who Klinger is?
Klinger, was he the one who was trying to get a Section 8? Yeah, he was the one who was trying to get a Section 8 constantly. Had the big nose. He cross-dressed. He did everything he could think of. He was trying to be as crazy as he can be to get out of the Army. Right? But it never worked out for him.
No.
What about Radar?
I loved Radar.
Radar was the little dude who was able, he
was awesome.
Yeah. But, of course, you had the lead two doctors who were there. They were always, in a mess. And MASH went on for a lot of seasons. But it was interesting. What I find is interesting is after we went back and looked at it, and you mentioned MASH, I go back and look at it, and that's kind of where EMS was, we were built from a war standpoint.
Yep. So it wasn't so much that they went out and picked up patients and did what we do.
They did what they had to do to stabilize.
But they had a mobile surgical hospital type setting, and the little green ambulances would bring them in, or they'd come in by flight with that little domed.
Oh, the little bitty bee looking.
Can you imagine putting a patient on something like that now?
They were on the skids.
Yeah.
They were not actually inside the helicopter. The only person that was there was the pilot and I think a co-pilot, and then the patients were on the skids.
You had that.
Yeah.
I think you just had the pilot.
I don't know.
It was a pretty small helicopter.
Yeah. But they were very quick and nimble, able to pick up people and get them dropped off. And that was it. There was no medical care.
You talk about not having some supplies. I wonder how often like in real life, how much they would have ran out of supplies in places like that,
Yeah. I think at that point in time,
it was a show,
your supply
Jennifer.
was kind of, no, because it's true. The Korean War happened, and there was a lot of reality to that idea. But I think we take for granted how quickly, we could get on Amazon and get supplies in a matter of a couple of days.
In my department, if they couldn't get something simple like, a 25 gauge fill needle, oh my God, the world has ended.
But these guys were waiting for stuff overseas.
Oh, my A button on my tough book doesn't work. Can you fix that? I cannot write a report.
Right.
I can't I touch the screen in the middle and it touches over here to the left. Can you fix that for me? It's really important.
Right.
I got a patient bleeding out over here, but I can't write that report until you fix this.
It's
Sorry,
just kind
Jack.
of, you done with that?
Yeah.
All
Sorry.
right.
Flashback.
PTSD.
My PTSD just kicked in. Jinx, Coke, you owe me a Coke.
That's horrible. But MASH was really good because of the fact that it is one of those places, one of those things we can look back and see where EMS kind of originated from and how it kind of developed from that point on. And next up on the list, what's next on the list? This is one of those ones that we have written down that there's probably not that many people who even
Over
know
half of you are not going to know what I'm talking about.
This movie even exists. I think ultimately,
I had it on VHS.
I think the funny thing is you turned and looked at me and whenever we wrote this down and you said, I bet you've never even heard of this movie. And I turned around and told you and said, well, doesn't Kathy Bates play in it? And you were like, I'm like, Kathy Bates. I love Kathy Bates. She was amazing in a lot of movies. So if you're
I'm
not
going to give y'all 5 seconds to try to guess, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I want in the comments how many people on our YouTube, how many people got this movie?
Oh, no, got this one.
Ambulance Girl. Oh my God, it was so funny. I remember setting my thing to record it so I could watch it.
Oh, it was interesting seeing, an actress go from being just somebody who's wanting to help the community to what does it take? I'm going to go to EMT school. I'm going to learn this and go from that to actually helping somebody out. And it really, if you're a brand new EMT, and you just finished up the EMT school, if you're looking to get into EMT school, go watch this movie.
If you can find it.
If you can find it, I think everything's on Amazon these days. Go look on Amazon, find Ambulance Girl.
So this was about a lady who was in her older age.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And of course, Kathy Bates is hilarious.
Of course. Man, like I said, she played so many good different roles.
But I think she drove her husband crazy, if I remember right. But she drove the poor volunteer fire chief even more crazy because she kept coming up there talking to him about this stuff, and he was like, okay. So she wanted to help out. She was, I think an empty nester, wanted to do something for her community. And I think on one of her first calls, there was some kind of glitch that happened there, but they put her through this class, and they did CPR, and this was my worst fear when I took CPR class. It really was. Why?
I mean, it happens at least.
And when they pulled those mannequins out, I was like, it's the alien. Remember the alien CPR mannequins?
The ones we have.
Yeah. No, there were the different ones.
Oh, yeah.
So she went to go do CPR and the head flew off. Mm-hmm. Like when she did the first compression, the head flew off.
That's had to have happened in everybody's CPR class at least once. I know it happens in at least, if I have 10 classes, it's happening in at least one of them.
I told this poor kid, it was a class I taught for you out at Eastlake. Mm-hmm. And one of the volunteer guys actually know his mom. Anyway, he got one of our mannequins whose head was kind of floppy. So when he went to move it, the head fell off. And I was like, you had one job. You already failed. You would have thought I rocked his world.
God.
You killed the damn mannequin.
You killed the dang mannequin. I mean, that doesn't work very nice.
No. So, but yeah, must see. And it kind of showed, there was some really funny parts, but there's also some meaningful parts in there and things. She transported one patient that was a younger cancer patient who was, about to die. And it was just this like aha moment for her.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because that fits into a lot of people whenever they get into EMS. It's kind of what they wanted initially. It's just like
I said, when I first started, I didn't know if I could handle it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I volunteered, initially to see if I could handle the scenes.
Yeah, because it's it can make a difference. We
all see the funny commercials where the guy, I can't remember what kind of commercial it was, but they get to the scene and there's lots of blood, and they're putting their gloves on, and the guy walks up, he's like.
That's actually happened on one of my scenes.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had an EMT pass out.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah. Fracture of the ankle, and he was supposed to be stabilizing. All of a sudden, we look up, and he's as white can be. He knows exactly who I'm talking about, and he's going to listen to this because I'm going to tell him.
Is he still in EMS?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we had to have another helper because he's sitting in the back corner trying to regain consciousness. Had to have somebody else drive the ambulance.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So, yes, must-see movie. Find it. Like James said, it's probably on Amazon or... I don't know.
Amazon or one of those will normally have.
Yeah, if you Google that, it'll come up somewhere.
Yeah, you'll find it somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next one I have on the list is the series. The TV series Emergency. The start of paramedics.
Anybody born in their 90s probably has no idea what you're talking about.
No, because we have watched that around the fire station, like from beginning when they first started, first episode, through the whole entire series.
Was it Johnny and Roy?
Yes, it was Johnny and Roy. And we went through the whole entire thing, watching the 30-minute episodes of how they save lives in 30 minutes.
What was the nurse's name?
Oh, Oh God, I have it on. I don't. What is her name?
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
I just know it was always the same nurse.
Yeah, it was the same nurse, and it was and the hospital was Rampart. It was Rampart Hospital, but they always had to call in for orders.
Yeah.
And it really displayed some of the first paramedics being in the field and being able to give emergency care, emergency medicine when we started giving medicine in the field. Made a huge difference on how we, how things were done for us. It was kind of, and at that time they were doing things that were unheard of in the field.
Yeah.
Cardiac monitors, oxygen, medications.
Hey, they probably had a 12 lead like the guy that did mine on Mexico.
They did. They had 12 leads, and they submitted those 12 leads via the doctor.
I can't even get mine transmitted now, and they got
Yeah, they transmitted them to the hospital, and the doctor would read it and tell them, give them a sodium bicarb on the radio and tell them what to do. By the doctor transmitting it, seeing the 12 lead, making a decision on EKG, and sending it. And that's when you had the one little blip. And you just had to watch that one little blip ball. It was crazy. That was probably like a life pack.
The big tube.
It was probably like a life pack 1. We think about what we had, what we had when we were in school, like the life pack 5, and we were like, that's a boat anchor. Yeah, the life pack 1, you couldn't even pick it up and carry that. Sure, yeah, you had to leave it at the hospital.
It was a suitcase.
But yeah, it was a suitcase. But emergency, that's an awesome. It just. I like watching that. I behoove
you all, whether you like fire service or not, to go watch that one.
If you are not wearing your helmet in the front seat of your rescue truck riding down the road, because if you notice, they never went anywhere without helmets on.
That'd be like you're in 95 now.
They had their fire helmets on driving down the road. It's like, what the heck is going on here? So, as we get that one done. All right. So now we're looking at another one. Let's see. I've got backdraft. And no. Okay, so
yeah.
All right, so let's look at it. These are
now
the
remember, I'm not a fire
list.
person.
She's not a fire person. These are the follow out my list. You have backdraft, ladder 49, only the brave, and third watch.
Yeah.
Backdraft because, of course, there's always that
last. Because they're badasses.
Well, yeah. Kurt Russell. I mean, the end part of that movie when he's like, if you go, we go. That's like my favorite part of the whole damn movie. I'm like, yeah, and then learning, if you know nothing about fire science, you can learn a lot from just watching that movie because they really did go over how a fire breeds and moves and grows. And it was really fictitious watching the 55-gallon drums flame up like they're and take off like they're rockets. But, which potentially could happen. But for instances, we'd never be in a building like that. Safety.
That was the year all the men decided it would be sexy to have sex up on the
back of the dang fire truck up in the hose bed area. Duh. And then it takes off down the road on a car.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
That's every man's dream. That's how every firefighter's like, hey, what can I do? I don't know. This would be a great idea if I did this.
Even if I was skinny and hot like that chick was, I couldn't do it. I would constantly be thinking, where have those hoses been?
I'm just kind of thinking, how would you be the chief that you now have to reprimand your firefighter for this? I mean, you call them in your office and you're like, hey,
I'm going to have to write you a high five.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to write you up. You're going to be off for, you're not off. I'm going to need you to come in early and you're going to pick up some extra shifts, but high five, man. High five. The hose washer, that's going to be your new friend. I can imagine. That's why I would never be a fire chief.
That's about like when you had to wash all the cars.
Yeah. Why are we going to bring up old shit?
So
ladder 49.
I didn't watch Ladder 49.
Ladder 49 was the modern day background.
So if anyone knows me, they know I'll watch some sad things. It has to be a sappy love movie for me to watch it. But
Ladder 49 was.
No.
It was about love.
No. Not in a girly way.
Well, not in a girly way.
So the next two movies I did not watch. I watched a lot of the other one, but
which one?
Only the Brave.
Only Brave, yeah.
I have a lot of respect for those. I have a respect for all firefighters, but I had a lot of respect for those guys. That is one that we had a movie night whenever I was the Explorer
advisor. And we had a movie night because when this movie come out, because of the fact that I really wanted them to see what it was like, what these guys went through. The Granite Mountain, the Hot Shots, Granite Mountain Hot Shots, and what these guys went through to get to where they were. And they really went above and beyond going and trying to get that hot shot status. I'm a structural firefighter guy, and granted, I don't fight many structure fires anymore these days. Actually, I had one not too long ago, but anyways, but ultimately, hands down to those wildland firefighter guys, you guys out in California, you guys who are fighting that stuff on a regular basis, I can't do it. It doesn't happen. It's crazy. But yeah, Only the Brave was one that was kind of cool. So
okay, and you wanted to bring up Third Watch.
Third Watch was okay. It wasn't too bad.
I don't remember that one.
It was on for a little while, but it was fire, EMS, and police.
Was that the live?
No. That was the one that was
another fiction
drama
one.
TV.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Yeah.
There's too much stupid shit in those things.
Well, it was more drama on all three sides. They're intermingling of the. I
think I would have put that on the other list.
But as the stuff is not to watch.
Yeah. Well, I think we should take a break.
I think we should take a break. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the reality shows that are out there, and then we'll talk about the stuff and what not to watch.
Okay.
Hey guys, James here. Are you looking to recertify your NREMT? CE Solutions NREMT program is an all-inclusive and will give you all the course required by the NREMT for recertification. Whether you're an EMR, an EMT, an advanced EMT, or a paramedic, CE Solutions has a package for you. Visit www.ems-ce.com for more details.
But we're back! Yeah! We're back.
We really weren't gone.
I know, but you told me we were taking a break, so we took a break, and now we're back.
So now we're going to talk about things not to watch.
Things not to watch.
And I already started it off by saying Third Watch wasn't one. I'm going to make some enemies on this one because I already see two on here.
Yeah. Okay, so
no, you didn't even write it on there.
Which one? For what? Well, let's talk about reality first. Is it one of the realities or is it one of the other ones?
No, it's a different one.
Okay, so let's talk about reality first. Let's look at, way back, and I had to show you this. You didn't even remember it. I didn't. I remember growing
when you
up
played
the intro for it.
I realized.
I remember growing up watching it. Rescue 911. I actually have one of the guys.
Was it Rescue 911?
Yes, it was. Okay. Rescue 911. One of the guys who started out with the Burnett Fire Department with me at the same time was actually on an episode of Rescue 911 when he was back up in Massachusetts, right? But but really, he was on an episode of Rescue 911. But it was. For me, it sparked a lot of interest. That's one of those shows that I remember watching growing up. It was interesting to just see how
William Shatner?
William Shatner is the narrator for it, and watching how the calls were managed by EMS, fire, and police departments, and I think that really subconsciously sparked that interest of wanting to be a police officer, and then going later on in the future wanting to be a firefighter, paramedic, and things like that. I think if I look back and think about clues that led me to where I'm at, and I think that one had something to do with it because it was a really cool show that was reality. Now it was reenacted. It was not actually taking place when it did it, just like these new reality shows are. But it was reenacted to where they showed the emergency and really showed how. I think one of the famous scenes that is actually in the intro for it is when they pulled Jessica from the well. Way back in the day that literally everybody was glued to the TV for almost 48 hours while they were trying to dig this well and get this little girl out.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yeah, but whenever they come out of the well and they're taking her to the ambulance, there's one gentleman who's carrying her, and that's instilled in my brain forever because of the intro to that show.
Yeah, it was after my accident that someone was telling me because I was not in a good place at that moment, and they were telling me that, and this may not be true, so y'all can fact check me, but someone else told me that one of the paramedics on that scene ended up committing suicide because they didn't feel that they did, I guess, an adequate job, or that was what they thought was the reason why.
Yeah.
But they did. They did everything they could to do what was right for that child.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, sometimes we walk away from things and, which
we may not feel good about it, but there was really no other way to deal with it. Yeah.
And ultimately she survived him without any major injuries, from my understanding. It really wasn't bad off being stuck there for so long. That was a super interesting rescue that took place.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll have a podcast at some point on those. What the hell was that? How did that even happen?
When you get back to the station and you're like, oh,
we all have seen something that should have never happened. Well, you don't even know how it happened. How did that happen?
That's the one you send the email to Chief way before you. You know what, Chief? I'm gonna go ahead and let you know this happened, so that way when the questions come, you can answer them. But yeah, so Rescue 911 was one, and then you have Live Rescue.
Which one was that one? Was that the one where they sing Bad Boys all the time?
No, that's the one that they have now that's out there. That's kind of taken the place of the law enforcement side of it. It's gone over to the rescue side, to the fire
they have
side.
Alaska, the Live Alaska one now, and they have all kinds, and then the DPS troopers.
Yeah, and then you have the game warden ones and things like that. So there's a lot of reality that involves. And
I do like all those, actually.
Those that are they show what we really deal with. And I think that gives, and no matter what you look at it, there are ways that it depicts us in a good way or a bad way. It just depends. Is there editing that takes place in some of those videos? I'm 100% sure. There's a time delay. You're not getting all the story.
Well, and if they're like me, there's word vomit.
Yeah. I mean, there's
and they have to edit like crazy.
Beep. You got to beep stuff out every now and then. You can't play that stuff on regular TV. But I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of like it's strange that there's a county not too far from us here that's been in some trouble over those guys. But oh yeah. Yeah, but but ultimately, it's. I think it's good for the public to see what we deal with on a regular basis. I think it's they that way maybe they'll get a better understanding of what work we do. So when you get ready to have to apply for that bond, when you get ready to put a bond out there and try getting your tax base to increase to supply staffing or supply equipment and things like that, having that reality TV show actually can benefit you and really show the public what we do. It's not laying around eating chili, sleeping all day, playing Xbox. It's running the calls, dealing with the stressful moments and handling the stressful calls when somebody is truly injured and we have to come in there and do our jobs.
Honestly, in the last part of my career, the times that I did have downtime, I was the last couple of years I was working because I was the supervisor. But, any downtime I had, I was resting because we were so busy. It was the best thing for us to do. And I learned, after my accident, that was what you needed to do, was take that time to rest and revamp yourself.
A lot of the public don't understand that sometimes we need, why are you getting paid to sleep? You're getting paid to sleep. Yeah, because it's for what I might have to do in the middle of the night.
I don't really sleep well.
We don't sleep at all really well when we're at the station anyways. Anybody who thinks the EMS sleep is good sleep, it's not. We usually get it that 24, that 48 hours after work. That's when we finally get the good sleep.
The first day off. Sleep the whole day.
All day, first day off.
All right, next.
Night Watch.
Our daughter loves Night Watch.
Night Watch it shows the strict EMS side of things. They followed some really good EMS companies in there. Austin Travis County was involved in the newest one. They had it started out with Louisiana, New Orleans, which was a great place because of the fact that they had the call volume, and they've got really good staff over there.
I said New Orleans.
But, they had a lot of the staff there, and they've got the call volume there that was interesting enough to hook people. And as soon as it hooked people for the first season, that was a done deal for the second season. I'll never forget going to to EMS Texas EMS conference and then going to get signatures from paramedics that do the same thing that we do, but because they were on night watch and our daughter was just a huge fan of night watch in Austin, Jen went and got autographs from those that were there.
Yes, I did.
You know, I mean,
It took a lot out of me.
but not to say anything against those paramedics that are there in Austin. You guys, you do the job. You're so we understand that part of it. It's kind of and a lot of times we've got to look at these guys who are being seen under a camera, and they have to kind of follow their P's and Q's.
Oh,
because,
I don't know. I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Any mistake is going to automatically show up right there on the video.
I think I would have been written up every day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I know I would have. I'd have got fired.
You can't say that.
Oh,
Jennifer.
I would have got fired. I could say it too, but it's okay.
No, that's what they would have told me.
Oh yeah. I can imagine that. Oh no, I better stop that coughing stuff. COVID, keep your COVID away from me. I think she may have 6 foot. Where's my mask? All right. Are we done? What else you got for reality? That's all we got.
Yeah.
I think reality wise that was except for Bad Boys. Bad Boys, what was the Cops went on forever. And that was a leading show forever. I'll never forget, a friend of mine was telling me he got home one night and was drunk off his rear end. Got home, fell asleep on the couch, asleep with the TV on, woke up at like 2:00 in the morning after being drunk, and all I hear is this, get out, people yelling at him, and he's like, oh God. So he hops up and he falls down on the ground in his living room. His TV had Cops playing. He thought they were done coming to his house because he was drunk. I was like, that's funny, dude. I wish I'd have seen that.
So these next few, why can't I believe you put that on the not to watch list?
Rescue me?
Yeah.
Why would Rescue?
I love Rescue Me.
Rescue Me was a good movie, good show, but there's a lot of stupid things that took place in there that shouldn't have happened.
Go make me a sandwich.
yeah. There's a lot of things in that show that was
all right. Whatever.
It was drama based.
What is this?
911. That's the old one. That's like they have 911 and then they have Lonestar 911.
Oh,
those are the new ones. That
I
can't watch them. These are the ones if you're wanting to know what not to do, these are wholeheartedly the shows to say, hey, Chief, I'm not going to do this. If you're being looked at to be able to, to put
listen, no one's going to allow you to drive a fire truck around town to play hide and seek with some random girl so that you can go climb on a rooftop and have sex with her. It's not going to happen, Buck.
It's not. There's just so many parts.
You're not going to drive down the road and find some dude with a steel rod through his brain and he's still going to be alive.
No. If he's got a rod here, he's done skis.
Out this way. It's not happening.
I just don't, that's not happening. And no matter what, and I'm sorry, I love Liv Tyler. She's super hot in the Lonestar 911, but no, half the stuff she does is hilarious. And I think if you go back and watch the first season, very first episode.
I'm going to give you a trach, but we're not going to go to the hospital because you don't have insurance.
Yeah. The first episode they did, and she said, in Texas, the fire department's in charge of EMS scenes.
No, the EMS is in charge of the fire department.
Oh, yeah, the EMS is in charge of the fire department. I was like, what the heck?
Or how about when she cathed someone and they squirted pee all over the walls of the bar?
Yeah, it's like,
didn't she do like a thoracostomy on a park bench or something?
Yeah, it's dumb. I mean, some of the things there, come on. These guys need to consult a real paramedic and say, hey, maybe that's what they did. Maybe they said, hey, what are the things that we don't do?
On this 911, they actually
really never watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
This guy, so he was at a tire shop. And he was doing something and he accidentally fell or whatever on the thing that inflates. And so it inflated him. And they had to relieve the pressure to get him stabilized.
That's just wrong. I mean, I've seen some crazy things in 17 years, but I ain't never seen anybody be inflated by a tire inflator. Can we try that? I have a compressor outside. We need to try this somehow. We need a volunteer, please. Volunteer.
I mean,
please.
I wish I lived somewhere where there was like excitement every day and tsunamis and
I mean, you get crazy crud, but no, nuh-uh. In 1 hour episode, they do probably about 90% of the stuff that we're not allowed to do.
So the most of my, I can say this, there were some bad calls. There was always some bad calls. And it depended on who you work with, if you had lots of bad calls. But
those are black clouds.
Yes. But for the most part, you had those nice few days in between that were, I hurt my foot, or, my diabetes is acting up, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I knew, so both times that I've ever left a job, both times that I left Lano, I had a significant call on my last day. Every time. I don't know what it is when you leave somewhere for the last time. It reminds you. It's like, hey, I just want you to remember me.
Exactly. You'll never forget that last one.
Yeah. This last one was a doozy. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah. So those calls are not every day like they are on this show. This is crazy. No. And things. Please don't believe anything you see on those shows.
Yeah, they don't. They're not anywhere close to being what you see, for real.
Now there is some community paramedicine and stuff like that goes on, but we're definitely not traking people in the field and leaving them home.
No, it's most definitely not something that happens on a regular basis.
So Chicago Fire, I never watched.
Really? Mm-hmm. I tried watching. We had a couple guys who were watching.
Tried watching.
Yeah, I tried watching a couple times and couldn't watch it. It just.
I'm going to insert one here.
It was too much drama associated. I don't mind. We already have enough drama in our lives when it comes to EMS and fire that I don't think adding drama by TV was really something.
No, I'm more for comic relief.
Oh, yeah. Something's funny. 911. That's funny.
Grey's Anatomy.
That one's not listed on here. No. They did some crazy thing with Grey's Anatomy. There again, drama TV. We got to stretch and make things out.
I'm going to make some enemies.
Oh, gosh.
Why do you loathe?
Look, hold on a minute. Let's
Grey's Anatomy.
Let's discuss this. We're trying to get our podcast to grow, and you keep trying to make enemies with everybody.
I will buy y'all a bottle of wine. I loathe.
We're going to try and drink later?
Grey's Anatomy.
We watched Grey's Anatomy quite a bit. We did back whenever I first started. It was okay for the drama.
Oh, yeah, you were a Grey's Anatomy junkie, weren't you?
Yeah, it was okay for the drama, but medical wise, you knew it was way too much. It just didn't make sense.
The best part of Grey's Anatomy was Denny, and he died pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's also the guy who's the guy from in The Walking Dead that you don't like.
Yeah, but he was hot in P.S. I Love You.
Well, no.
Yes, he was.
Was he? He was not P.S. I Love You.
Yes, he was.
No.
Okay, $100, sir.
Oh gosh.
$100.
No. I think we've had this argument before.
Come on, $100. Bet me. It's on live.
Was he the second guy? Not because Gerald Butler was the first guy. Gerard Butler. But he was the second guy then that she ran into. Yep. He was the new guy at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that he's a really good actor. I mean, he plays really decent parts. Mm-hmm. But he was only there. I can't believe he didn't like, who is it, Jack Dempsey or whatever it is, the other guy who was in there.
Patrick Dempsey. I don't like him.
Yeah, no. That guy was McSteamy was his name?
No, I think McDreamy.
I don't know.
I didn't watch it. He was also on Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think that was him, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
So Rescue Me.
We're
going to agree to disagree here because I loved Rescue Me.
I liked the show, but the show had a lot of drama that didn't, when you could put reality firefighting to that, there wasn't enough in for it. It was more of their outside lives than it was really what happened in the fire
obviously
station.
some of it was fake because they kicked everybody's ass when they slept with someone else's wife, and that don't happen in real life.
No, they didn't. It was really strange that way.
So Rescue Me, again, is one of those, if you really get down and think about it, you know, if anyone that didn't watch it, he saw a lot of, he had a lot of ghost friends, right? You know, spiritual friends that would visit him. Wasn't one of them his brother?
I think so. Yeah, they're close to the end. It was.
That had died. And he, again, I link it to PTSD, right?
Yeah.
You know, and this was FDNY.
It was all based in FDNY.
Yeah. So I loved it. It was a good movie or a series for me. I liked it, and I like Dennis Leary. He's a little. You either like him or you don't.
He was rough in that show. I mean, we watched it and we kept it going on around the fire station just because of the fact that it was very interesting to watch.
Go make me a sandwich.
I don't know why you keep telling me that. I don't know
You don't remember that part?
No, I don't remember that part.
You really don't remember that part? He was sleeping with his dead brother's wife.
Oh, God.
And something happened and he told her to go make him a sandwich.
Jesus crazy. I just don't understand.
Sorry, Mom.
Well, hey, that was actually on TV. They didn't show anything. It was rated.
Wasn't it HBO though, or something?
No, it wasn't HBO. That was it FX? It was FX.
Okay, well, it's still kind of a sketchy one.
Yeah. It was borderline.
I did like it, and they did make sure to recognize FDNY for what they were. So that was
and
cool.
I think Dennis Leary actually rode out with FDNY for that.
Hey, you know who was a firefighter?
Oh, yes, I do. See, I know. That's the little dude from...
the little dude.
God, he was the guy trying to ride the nuclear weapon in the Armageddon. Yeah. Oh, and he actually... I can't ever say his name. Steve... Isn't it Steve something another?
He was in Grown Ups.
Yeah.
He was on the other side, though. He was on the bad side. But in Armageddon, he was the cannibal
I'll tell
guy.
you who it is here in just a second, right here. Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
He was actually, before he went into acting and everything else, his family had worked for FDNY, father and brothers. He went in and they said he worked for a couple of years as a firefighter, EMT, before going into the acting world.
Yeah.
And after 9/11, he actually hopped back onto a truck to help out and to do what he could do, which was super cool.
Awesome.
For a guy that made that, went from being a firefighter, being just like us, to making it big time in the movies. I mean, he really was into
and then
big
going back
movies
to his roots to help out.
and to help out when needed be.
Yeah.
Super cool. And Steve, if you ever listen to this podcast, I bow to you.
Hats off. We love you.
Yeah,
we really do.
And he's done a really. Let's see.
So we are. If anyone knows us, and if you don't notice, that we're a kind of a comedy junkie type people.
Yeah.
You know, we like the funny stuff. We're both clowns.
Oh yeah.
Now he is more so a clown than I am, but I went to clown college, and
I did my best.
But yeah, we like the funny stuff.
Yeah,
you know, we give each other a hard time, but things like this, and this guy Steve, he's awesome. We love him. I watched what was it the other day? It was so I have this infatuation with what is his name? He was on Grown Ups. What's the main guy's name?
Grown Ups, Kevin.
No, the main guy.
No.
Oh, I can't believe I can't remember his name. I love him.
Adam Sandler?
Yes.
Oh, good Lord.
I have this love for Adam
With his
Sandler.
big old egghead.
He's cute.
He's Adam Sandler.
He's cute.
Amazing movies that dude has put
He
out.
is so cute. But anyway, I watched the one
You're
the other
fired.
day where he had to Billy Madison.
Oh gosh.
And
yes.
remember he's in there and he like he calls him and apologizes and
he shot him.
shot
man.
the
Shot
guy.
the guy at the end of it. He's like, glad I made that phone call.
Yeah.
You know.
So I love Adam Sandler,
yeah.
and he has these group of guys that he has.
Happy Gil, the Happy Madison group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God! I was thinking of a different movie. I was thinking of the one with Kevin Costner, or not Kevin Costner, Nicolas Cage in it.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Mm,
Con Air.
Con Air. Yeah, he was in Con Air. Yeah. Yeah, that was, but you know that's one of the things is we all like to watch these. You know, as we start to wrap up what's left here and finishes up. There's a lot of things.
We had another show.
Was there? Oh, here, hold on. As we start to look at some of the things that are really. Chuck and Larry. Hey, Chuck and Larry. There really wasn't a bunch
Adam Sandler.
It is Adam Sandler. And and what is this? Kevin
I don't know that guy's name.
God, that dude's hilarious too. But
I don't know many people who decide to go get married to the same sex to get insurance.
Really?
No.
Really?
I guess I do. I guess, but it wasn't for insurance.
Oh no,
it was for something
a
else.
whole other reason. We're just buds. Don't worry, we're friends.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
That's a good thing. Yep. I'm just gonna let you watch it. Yeah, it's a good thing we got listeners.
Yeah, that person's gonna hear this and go, "Really?
We're losing one of our listeners, guaranteed." But anyways, there wasn't much firefighting, and it made sense some of the things, but. There was just,
Listen, after this vaccination podcast and the COVID podcast, we had to find something that was just kind of comical and funny. And, like I said,
we had COVID conversations,
funny.
Everything else. We really need to find something. It just kind of got back to something that was kind of cutting
the roots of what we, the things we did before we got into this really. And
I think ultimately looking at all these, if you haven't watched and you're not, and I understand you may not be ate up with EMS, you may not be ate up with fire, but you know what? Go watch these shows, go watch these movies. Pick out something that you can learn from everything, because everything we do, you can learn something that you can use in your practice with, no matter what it is.
Or what not to do.
Or what not to do, for sure.
There's another one, and I mentioned it the other day, and I can't think of what Third Night Shift.
No, I didn't watch that one.
Night Shift.
The Third Watch?
No, it's like Night Shift. It's on Netflix. Me and Raylene watched it for a little while.
Night Shift.
And it was like the doctor stopped at this accident and the guy was bleeding out. So he like connected an IV into one vein and then recirculated it from the opening of the wound in the other, so that this blood was just recirculating through the body. And they could get him to the hospital and get him in surgery.
That would never happen. Hey, that's a good idea.
They did I was like, really? But the guy was hot, so I had to keep watching it.
So wait a minute. I'm seeing a little pattern here with you. If it's got hot dudes in it, you're watching it?
Well, I didn't marry you for your looks.
Oh, God. I'll hit the button for you for
I'm going to pay for that one later.
Yeah.
I was going to apply for a new zip code for that mustache.
Oh, yes. The mustache is coming in nicely. So super awesome. So super awesome. Just saying. Hey, you can grow one of these one day too.
Hey,
Not you.
Is it tomorrow morning that you go get your second microchip?
Tomorrow I do go get my second shot for the COVID. I'll have my third eye completely coming in right back here. It's working its way through right now.
I thought I felt a little knot.
It's funny. I sent an email to my boss earlier and said, hey, by the way, don't forget, I am going to be late in the morning. And I said, hey, do you think they make glasses for that third eye that comes in above your on your forehead? And if you had glasses, would you be 6-eyed instead of 4-eyed? I'm just saying.
So I saw a thread on Facebook today with someone that I know. We banter back and forth over this whole COVID and vaccine thing. I believe in COVID. I think it's serious. I don't know how serious I should. I don't know if it's as bad as people try to make some people make it out to be. I did see on the news today that at some point they think it'll be nothing more than like the common cold in the years to come.
I think so. I think as we get through and we've added the vaccine to our systems, and they are saying that there's because of some of the changes with the RNA, that there is the potential of passing some of that immunity down to your children. So the children coming up will have some of that natural born immunity to it. I don't know how. I haven't looked at the studies on that, and it was just a conversation that me and somebody had. I have no idea how much reality that is, but it's kind of interesting if it is, because it's been a long time since we've had some kind of something in our systems that we've had to change and combat and be able to turn
come
around
up with that quickly.
Yeah, and come up with it quickly, and not only that, but make changes to our to who we are.
I understand the reason why they came up with it so quickly. I just, and like if y'all listened to our podcast last week, I did not get the vaccine, but James did.
Yeah.
And we're not at each other's throats about it, and we're not hating on each other about it.
I just won't be around her when she's got COVID. Stop that coughing. No. I think ultimately we respect each other's decisions and move on. And I believe that's what everybody should do. I will be willing to listen to anyone's theories or thoughts, but don't hate on me for my decisions and thoughts. And I think that's something we all should pay attention to. I agree with something that I saw recently, which is the change that needs to happen is in all of us. We as a nation are lost. And we need to find ourselves. So. And one of the greatest things about where we're at, where we live, is the fact that we have the freedom of speech, and we're able to think our own. And for some,
but
don't get on Twitter too long.
Yeah, but that's also one of the things that's kind of against everybody right now is because I believe one thing and you don't. Some people are not.
We have that ability to not. We have that ability to not believe what everybody else says, and that's our freedom. That's
the difference is I respect you for your thoughts,
100%.
And that's what we all need to remember is we need to respect the other person, even if they have different thoughts than what you are, what you do. And not everybody's the same. And I love you all, no matter what you think or want or do.
Do you still love me?
I love you. Yeah, I love you. I'd like to play.
Well, we're running. We've run super long this evening.
Yeah, one of these days we're going to get this thing down to 30 minutes.
No, we're not. I like the hour-long show.
I don't.
Oh, that's because you like to go to bed. Maybe we should record sooner and earlier.
That'll never happen.
At night. Hey, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the show today. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast.
Don't forget White Door.
White Door Winery.
Or I'm sorry, it is not White Door.
It's not White.
It is Door 44, Door County, Wisconsin. It's the White Door.
Oh, White Door wine. It's a different wine for sure. But if you like dry whites, it's very much a dry white. Not one of my favorite wines but I like fruity wines. I'm not a huge wine drinker.
No, it was very good. I actually like it. I would like this with something a little sweeter, like the fruit.
Something that gives it a little bit of. And
I might actually put some stuff in it.
Some sangria with it. Ooh, why did we waste that bottle? Sangria would have been amazing. A white wine sangria with it. A little bit.
So I have a treat for y'all coming up. I'm gonna have to go take a trip down to the candy store.
Oh no. Candy store. Which candy? Oh, the candy store. Oh, yeah. Are you getting wine ones?
Yep.
Ooh, the wine chocolates.
So maybe on the next podcast, I'll bring the wine chocolates. So
we'll
there
start
is
those.
I'm not going to give it away too much, but there are some chocolates that it's like a cookie bottom.
Wine
And then
filled.
wine filled and then covered in chocolate. It is the bomb.
As long as while you're there, you pick up the Garrison Brother ones
Yeah,
too.
they do have some Garrison Brothers too.
Those are amazing.
Anyway, we love you all.
Yes, we do. And we please like, subscribe, hit that subscribe button right down there.
And share.
And share. We need the Whiny Medics to grow. Don't forget, if you have an ambulance that has over 600,000 miles, I need to see a comment on our Facebook page behind this post.
I don't think anybody can beat me.
Somebody's got one. Somebody's got a 600,000 mile
In service.
ambulance. In service. Need a picture. If you could take a picture with you in it, I'm getting you a shirt, a Whiny Medic shirt. So go right ahead and get it to us. Let us know.
We'll even let you pick the color.
Heck yeah. And with that, we are out of here. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.